Welcome back to the SBS Podcast. It is officially game week as UCLA takes on Utah this Saturday night at the Rose Bowl. So we, of course, take a dive into that matchup. We debut a brand new segment for the second season of the podcast, as well as talk some of the recent drama surrounding UCLA football's media policies lately that's been making waves. And last but not least, apologies in advance for some of the sound quality on this one. We're still working out some technical issues with the new equipment, so bear with us. But we'll make sure we get it dialed on the next one. But thanks again for joining, and let's get into it.
Hello, gentlemen. What are we more fired up about, the 2025 UCLA football team or season 2 of the SBS Pod? It's a dead heat for me.
Who thought we would get here? Who thought we would get to season 2?
We've come so far.
I think this is episode 31, if I'm not mistaken. But who's counting? You always have a good summer. How was it?
It was nice. I played a lot of golf, watched a lot of baseball, enjoyed the heat here in SoCal, at least the last few days.
Yeah, it's moved back to California actually. Moved out of Washington, out of Gonzaga territory. So stoked to be back. Stoked to be hanging out with you guys more often and getting to attend more games throughout the year, so I'm fired up.
Your vibes were off last year living in Washington, dude. I think you're kind of throwing off the whole vibe and the whole
I'm surprised
mojo.
You, as CEO, you didn't kick me off the show, actually.
There were times when you were close. I'll tell you what, dude, I'm having a busy close to August. I was in Mammoth last weekend. Thunder and lightning, which was insane. I didn't know that it even rained in Mammoth.
Wow.
Wednesday night, I've never been to the Forum, and I'm going for the first time. Seeing Pantera, gonna let some demons out.
Yeah,
Guys, get it out of my system ahead of the UCLA game Saturday. This is genius. And then Saturday is best day of the year for me. I mean, opening Saturday of college football. It doesn't get any better. And dude,
sir.
I think that the 9 a.m. Texas Ohio State kickoff, that's probably the best. Like, it's the 9 a.m. game of the first week. I can't remember a better kickoff than that. That is so sick.
Such a tone set right off the bat.
I'm watching it at Cosm.
Oh, that's sick. I've watched college football at Cosm. It's dope. I've actually watched a Texas game there.
I got invited.
Really cool.
I'm watching it for free, baby.
Yeah. I'll be on a flight to Minnesota during that game, which is kind of great because I get to just kill the 3-4 hour flight with maybe the best college football opening in my lifetime, I think.
Yeah, dude. Hope that plane doesn't go down. That would suck if you missed that game.
I know.
And then, dude, Saturday night is Saturday night, UCLA, Utah. Here we go. Yase Adamo. Remember those old Bud Light ads, 2010, 2011? Yase Adamo. Remember that?
I don't think I was paying attention to Bud Light ads.
In 5th grade.
Shows what my aspirations were in the 8th grade. I think it translates to like it is time, or like it's ready. But yeah, Yase Adamo, Saturday night, UCLA, UCLA versus Utah. I don't want to jump the gun on talking Utah just yet. There's a few other items that I want to cover before we get there. First of which is something that we are unrolling in this second season of the SBS Pod. In case you missed it on the Instagram or Twitter, we're debuting something that, in my humble opinion, is going to change the lived experience of every UCLA fan that comes across it. And I don't know if we call this a segment or just a Bruin fan resource, but this is the SBS Hotline. We want you, the listener, to call us, that's Kyle, Keon, and myself, at 310-243-6301 to basically leave us a voicemail with, this could be thoughts, reactions, predictions, literally anything. Ideally this is, about UCLA football to some capacity. But hey, this is a 24/7 UCLA football emergency hotline straight to us. You call in, it can be before the game, after the game. What we're going to be pushing prompts on the Instagram story and Twitter. And we'll play your message on the show, and the three of us will discuss and react. Boys, how are we feeling about the SBS Hotline?
So excited. I could not be more excited. We already got one submission. We're going to go over it later, but my goodness, it's going to be good.
I'm fired up. I'm waiting one time for Ross to get drunk after a game and call the hotline.
Call our own hotline.
Look, typically you'd expect this to be let's keep this PG. Nuh-uh. I want this to be like the unfiltered pulse of the society, like the pulse of Bruin Nation, the voice. Like, obviously, we are not tied to any radio station, and we have no obligations to like any sponsors yet. So, dude, take advantage of that while you can. I mean, have at it, like no filter. Let us hear your thoughts. I mean, if I'm a UCLA fan and I'm not me, this is like a personal dream come true. I mean, this thing's fully anonymous. We want to get your name, where you're from, but you can completely fabricate that. This is fully anonymous. Trauma dump to us, the SBS fellas. And like Kyle just mentioned, we already have received our first entry. We have not listened to it yet. So shall we dive into it, fellas?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
UCLA is going to win against the Utes. It's going to be 43-33. Bruins, this is our year. We've waited all this time for this team. It's our year. Go Bruins. Go.
All right. Okay. First ever entry into the SBS hotline. Chills. Anyone else get the chills from that?
Electric Factory.
Okay. Also, in this caller's defense, in the initial voicemail, like the answering machine that has like my voice, I did not mention to include your name and where you're calling from. So sadly, cannot shout her out. But I love it. I love where her head's at.
Yeah. Thank you for calling. Caller number 1.
Yeah, dude.
Caller number one.
You know what she did? Which I think is just fucking awesome. I hope it was intentional. She took, what was her score prediction? 43-33.
Yep.
She took the score of the 2022 game where we won at the Rose Bowl against Cam Rising. We won that game 42-32. So
wow.
She added a point to each side. So she basically took an already legendary game and just increased its intensity by a point each. So hey, if that hits, we're tracking down caller number 1. We are making her famous. Caller number 1. Thank you for calling in. Make sure to make a habit out of it. Give us your name next time, and we'll keep shouting you out. Go Bruins. Last item, before we switch gears into some real discussions about UCLA football. There was an exercise that I mentioned that I wanted to run with you guys in the group chat. Do you remember?
Yeah, you didn't tell us what it was.
Oh, I said it was a would you rather, but I didn't tell you what the would you rather was. And I've really hyped it up now, and I feel you guys might not think it's that sick.
I'm nervous.
It's pretty standard, but it's a good little. This is our first episode back. We've got cobwebs. It's an icebreaker. It's like the first day at work. Would you rather win a national championship in football in the next 10 years, UCLA that is, or UCLA builds an on-campus football stadium like now, like this season we get an on-campus stadium for forever eternity. It's state of the art, 50,000 person capacity, right in the heart of campus. What's it going to be?
So. I'm not going to lie. My computer froze for the first part of that question.
Oh!
But I would choose option 2. I don't even know what option 1 is. I'm choosing option 2.
Okay, this is great. I'm not even going to cut that. Option 1 was win a national championship in football in the next 10 years.
Oh, wow. Did you say basketball? Did you say basketball?
No, football.
Wow. Okay, wow.
Yeah. Don't get so fucking confident next time, buddy. Let's hear it. What's your answer, Kyle? You have 5 seconds.
1. I've never seen a national championship in either football or basketball for UCLA.
Yeah,
okay.
My gut reaction was the same. I think a national championship fills out the Rose Bowl, and a filled-out Rose Bowl is the best atmosphere and best scene in sports.
Yeah, I mean, your backup is you're still playing in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the logistics of UCLA football are, in 2025, they're so challenging that in the long run, I think a stadium on campus would actually do more for the program than winning a title would in like the long run. I mean, let's look at Florida State. Florida State in 2013. Jameis. They won the title. Fantastic stuff. In 2024, they won 2 games. Worst season since 1974. And they just reduced the capacity of Doak Campbell by 12,000 seats. That was, it's 12 years ago, but it's not that long ago. And look where they're at now. I think if UCLA builds an on-campus stadium starting this season, that the title would eventually come organically and not from my hypothetical would you rather.
I think it would be dope. I mean, when you get poly rocking with all the students and when it's packed, it's one of the best atmospheres in college basketball. So now you're going to multiply that and turn it into a college football atmosphere with the tailgating that's going to happen on Bruin Walk and the frats getting really involved, I think. I would obviously want a on-campus stadium
Do you think if we clipped my answer to that would you rather that I would get dragged on Instagram? Is that like a batshit answer? Because the rest of the guys in the car, we were pretty split, and that's why I was so stoked to share you guys. But meanwhile, you guys just completely.
I just don't think you pass up winning a national championship in any regard. Like, if you win a national championship, recruits are going to come, fans are going to come. You're going to get everything that you want to get out of the on-campus football stadium.
It's almost that I don't trust our fans enough. I think that might be
to show up for a national championship.
To show up after, for the national championship to be enough to like bring them back. It's taking a depressing turn, but I guess that has factored into my rationale. Yes,
but I don't think an on-campus stadium would do that either. To be honest with you,
that's where I disagree. I do disagree with that. Especially if the capacity is right. It's like we pull like 45K pretty regularly. And like that's with, I mean, the Rose Bowl is 15 degrees hotter than Westwood most days. Pasadena's
probably
way hotter
more.
than Westwood.
It's 98
and
today
like,
in Pasadena.
Yeah, and the only time you ever see those like horrible photos, when people drag us on Twitter with the empty Rose Bowl, it's typically for like a September game against Bowling Green where it's 108. You're not going to get that in Westwood, and also the students are all right there. And I feel like there's also just more Bruins on the west side than there is in Pasadena. Sorry, I'm right. I know it hurts.
Well, we'll drop a poll in the Spotify. So if you're listening, vote.
Hey, call into the hotline, baby.
Yeah,
let us know your answer.
We're going to use the hotline for everything.
No, really,
great.
I'm plugging the hotline probably every 90 seconds.
Please use it. It's $10 a month.
Anyways, speaking of which, I mentioned Doak Campbell shrinking. Speaking of renovations, was the Rose Bowl renovation announced after our one-off episode in the offseason?
I don't remember. I think it was before.
I don't remember talking to you guys about it. And dude, I've defended the Rose Bowl for the better part of like 5 to 10 years online about you guys gotta appreciate an antique and like appreciate an old stadium. But it's
Fenway
now.
Park.
I mean, it's getting harder and harder. Did you guys hear about the not Dua Lipa,
Rufus Du Sol,
the Rufus Du Sol concert? Oh my God! Do you guys know anybody that went to that thing?
Yeah, my girlfriend actually went.
Did she have fun?
Yeah, she had a great time. She was looking forward to it
what happened?
for a while.
Hey, where did she sit?
On the floor, I believe.
So there you go. That's why she had fun. All of my friends that went, they were up in the bowl. Mm-hmm. And did you not see like the viral fallout from this concert?
I saw someone got beat up. Yeah.
Well, there was the fights, but also like the tunnels, which you guys know those tunnels.
Oh, yeah.
They're pretty cozy.
People get stuck?
Yeah, apparently, and this is all over TikTok. It was like close to like a what do they call? What was that?
Travis Scott,
like an Astro World thing. Mm-hmm. Like my sister was there, and she was like, it was terrifying. Like everybody bought their own seats, but the security didn't enforce it, so it was a total free for all in the walking areas in the bowl and like the rows and the tunnels. It just became congested with people, and some people were stuck in the tunnels for the concert.
I mean, those tunnels are long, but they are narrow.
Could you imagine?
And they're hot.
Could you imagine watching that documentary like the night before and then going to that fucking concert?
It's happening.
It's happening. Holy shit.
I luckily, I told her, I was like, I've been to the Rose Bowl 1,000,000 times for UCLA, for soccer games, for concerts. I was like, get there as early as like humanly possible to you and don't deal with the parking and the traffic. She's like, we're going to shuttle. I'm like, honestly, it's probably better just to fucking park there, eat the parking and park there. Do not Uber. It's going to be hell. So maybe my UCLA fandom came in handy in one regards to my relationship.
I was just going to say, have you guys ever done the Parsons shuttle? Because
I was just about to say, I was about to say, I am the biggest advocate for Parsons shuttle ever.
Oh, yeah? Good.
Yeah.
So they do something right. Good.
Have you not done it?
Why would I do it? For the pregame against Utah, I'm throwing a tailgate party at my parents' house, which is a 20-minute walk. It's badass.
I've done that for the Rose Bowl game, and it is electric for the Rose Bowl game.
The Parsons shuttle?
Oh, yeah.
I think the Parsons shuttle has been referred to as a lot of things. I think this might be the first time it's been called electric.
I have fun on that shuttle.
Can you drink on the Parsons shuttle?
I've never tried, but I'd imagine you could.
All right. Yeah. Maybe we might just do it for fun.
Just party bus it.
Yeah. For the what? How long is that ride? It's not long.
It can't be more than 5 minutes. You're coming from Walnut, right?
Yeah, it's like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, max. All right, we are officially switching gears to Bruin football talk, and there has been some drama in the last month or so throughout fall camp, the prevailing storyline for UCLA throughout fall camp has kind of been the lack thereof. Deshaun and his staff throughout the past, 4 to 5 weeks have been exceptionally secretive with what they've allowed and permitted the media to see and record and report on. I mean, dude, it was reported that one of the sessions they were only allowed to film a stretching session, and then after that concluded, they said, "All right, you're gone." They kicked everybody out. So basically, no coverage of the Bruins throughout fall camp has been allowed. And when Deshaun was, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but he was basically called out for it in a post-practice interview. And in a nutshell, he basically said, "It's not my job to sell the program. That's your guys," in reference to the media. It's our job to win football games. And that we really gain no advantage in coverage of our team and really only risk our offense or our schemes being leaked or, into the hands of our opponents. Now, I know both of you guys are in the camp of, the folks in the media and a lot of the fans that this has turned into a big, annoying overreaction. And now we're kind of in the middle of this soap opera on the cusp of football season. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole thing. Elaborate.
I think it goes both ways. I think, Deshaun, I don't think you necessarily need to shut out the media the way that he has throughout the last 4 to 5 weeks. I think it's been a little bit excessive, and I honestly think he's as it's gone on, he's played into it a little bit more. This past weekend, it just continues to be something that the media just continues to cry about, and it has gotten annoying. When they had the open scrimmage Saturday, we have some reporters, complaining that they're going into the locker room and coming back out trying to replicate, what warm up would look like, and then run out of the tunnel, and they're complaining about it. So it's been messy and weird from both sides.
Kind of mob mentality in a little way, you think?
Yeah, a lot of the media just sort of gang rallying together against Foss. Yeah,
this guy's upset, so I should be upset. And now it's kind of just a trend to be upset. I get that.
Yeah.
You can.
I was just saying I don't really have an issue with what Foss is doing. Like Kyle said, I think it goes a little both ways, and he could probably be more accessible and make the team more accessible in non compromising ways. But when it comes to these spats, and it's been happening more and more, I think, in sports, not just in this case, but in the NFL and in soccer specifically that I follow a lot of. And I don't really think coaches or teams or athletes really owe the media anything. And it's the media kind of becomes crybabies because they need the teams, the coaches, the athletes to be able to run stories. So if they're not giving them any stories, the only story becomes that, we're not being given the access that we deserve or that we are right. It's our right to have, which it isn't.
They're just trying to do their job.
I guess that begs the question, though, because we're all fans here. Mm-hmm. Has this past offseason, do you as a fan feel less connected to the team because of this? Because I've been a fan a long enough time I can confirm that there is definitely way less content and way less, things to follow over this offseason. Do you guys, the two of you, do you feel less connected because of this? Are you less excited? Would you feel more excited? Had you gotten better quality reporting and insight?
It's weird to me because I think UCLA's actual content team has done more this offseason than the past. You roll out a whole Chasing Saturdays, episodes that, go above and beyond there and sit down interviews, with the team and coaches and things like that. But as far as the media goes, I think, Foss, I know you said it, Ross, he's popularity in the program will get built just based off of winning games. But I think that only goes so far. You got to have the media pushing a narrative and an outlet and a spotlight on your team. You look across town. I do feel actually I've seen a lot more about USC than my own program.
One thing you got to give USC, man. They're known for their film school. Their content is always really, really good, and you have to think that either draws fans or turns casuals on to being oh, this is sick. Who's this guy? They're just insight and exposure to the program. And look, do I hate the idea of like them taking secrecy and like prioritizing winning over like feeding the media? Like, no, of course I don't hate that. Like, or I just don't really have like an opinion on it. I just think with the timing and everything, and the schedule, more so. I mean, I just think it's kind of a interesting and like pushing unwise decision by Foster and even the AD. Is like, look, if you remove any preseason or off-season like hype or any kind of storylines, you don't really have many guys to follow. There's nothing really there to like really latch the non-diehards onto the team, or at least you're even trying to do that. So what you're kind of doing is putting all of like your fan eggs into like the win basket, which is exactly what Sean said. Like, we're here to win games. But when you look at the schedule, that basket lies in week 1. That's going to be a very tough opponent and a very tough game. So it's like, now it's kind of like Deshaun just added this pressure to himself for no particular reason, which he did not need more of. Like, I hope he doesn't have a long leash. Because now it's, yeah, okay, well, you better win now because, we've been, we've had the CIA protecting our facility for the last 4 weeks. It's like, if we come out and get our asses kicked, now, like, everyone looks stupid. Yeah. And now the fans surely don't care because the offseason was the offseason was a bunch of nothing, and then the team stinks. And now where does that leave us? We have a Friday night game against New Mexico. How's that going to go? I meant to ask you, what's attendance predictions for Utah? I've got 42,000.
I think it'll be more.
Yeah, I was gonna say 50, 58 to 60 was my prediction.
Yeah,
that's bullish. I like where your head's at though, but damn, really?
35,000.
Yeah, I think the hype honestly has been driven a lot by our new QB, who I guess we'll talk about later. But I just think we're in that part of the offseason, a week before or even a few weeks before when this whole media circus started, that like we don't have anything to talk about anyway. We don't have preseason games like the NFL. We don't have roster cuts like the NFL. There's no storylines at this point in the offseason. Transfers have happened. We had the biggest transfer news of the transfer cycle was with us involved. Probably the biggest news of the offseason is the fact that Tennessee's starting Joey Aguilar and paying him $1.2 million for some reason. And I just think, whether it's Bro or LA Times or whoever, that like, I don't know, this is kind of a non-story that people are latching onto because there isn't any other stories. And I think whether it's a win or a loss, that we're quickly going to get a lot of storylines starting this weekend.
I think we're all just looking for something to do here. All just UCLA football fans look like it's like people aren't even really upset. It's just like, yeah, there's something to do. Let's be upset about this.
Exactly.
This also begs the question. After Deshaun's reposting of SBS on his personal Instagram story and the several tweets he's liked, are we his only friend in the media?
I would love to have Deshaun on to say his piece if he'd like. I would love to extend that to him.
How about this? I reach out to him saying, I will literally only give you cupcake layup questions, T-ball, I'll tee it up for you. Just give me a media pass and like a beer wristband, and you have your like state media right here. Remember when I said no sunshine pumping? Yeah, throw
it out the window.
Throw that shit out the window, Deshaun. I'm here to be your friend, my man.
We're gonna ask him questions like, "Hey, what city is UCLA in?"
No, that's a good way to get that shit revoked. Okay, you guys brought up the Chasing Saturdays thing. What did you? Our homework was to watch Chasing Saturdays. What were our thoughts on it? If you weren't a UCLA fan, and let's say we weren't recording right now. What did you guys think? Was it cool? Was it eh?
I thought it was a great effort.
that you know what you're not going to hear out of like a Ohio State fan? I thought the effort was there. I'm really proud of them for trying.
Well intentioned.
I mean, there's no other way to put it. They tried something new. They tried to put a good spotlight for training camp. I mean, it was different going to Costa Mesa. They hadn't done that since San Bernardino days. I mean, I would have been sick to see like some behind-the-scenes footage of the San Bernardino days. That would have been super dope.
Actually, they did do that in San Bernardino, and it was called The Drive. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was in 2014, and I think maybe that's why I'm being a little harsh on Chasing Saturdays, because The Drive was like full of, well, who put on Chasing Saturday? Was it us, or was it, UCLA? Or
UCLA Football.
Yeah.
It was an internal thing. Okay.
Yes.
Correct. So The View, or not The View. It's The
Pac-12,
View.
Pac-12 Network, right?
Yeah, it was Pac-12 Network, and that's probably the only good thing they ever put out, but it was really sick. It was high budget. It was like, I think the biggest thing that was wrong with Chasing Saturdays, what was it, like 7-minute episodes? Yeah, I just thought it was a little short.
Took some creative liberties with that one.
Like, look, Kyle, to your point, yeah, I'm glad they're trying something, but I think compared to what we've seen in the past, about 10 years ago with The Drive, that was really cool. It was like probably 20, 25-minute episodes. Brett Helen, also it helps that was like probably the most hype time there ever was to be a UCLA fan in my lifetime.
Yeah.
We had guys like Hunley. I'm pretty sure Miles Jack was in it.
Super
San Bernardino was also just fucking metal. Like, it was so hot. Guys were going on like 5 a.m. hikes up in like the Cactus Mountains and shit. Just better content overall. But what are you going to do? Kind of our final UCLA football segment. It's going to be about this Saturday. Please be genuine. We'll start with you, Keon. How do you feel about Saturday?
I'm cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
I think you mentioned it, Ross, like, you don't want to say that the season hinges on the opening game of the season,
but it does hinge.
But it hinges on the opening game of the season. If I sent you guys some stats about ESPN and where the betting lines are and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, if we win by 1, if we win by 10, I think this could catapult us really and give us a lot of momentum. Utah's a very good team. I don't want to discount them. Great head coach. Great program, especially in the last decade. And obviously they know us well. They've been to the Rose Bowl many times. We know them. So it's cool to get that Pac-12, but like, this is a incredibly important season opener. I can't remember a season opener in the last half decade.
I was thinking about that.
I was thinking about that too.
My
mind went to, and this pales in comparison to it, and this was a ranked team. Josh Rosen's second year on the road at A&M in 2016 comes to mind. I think A&M might have been just unranked, but it was in College Station. We were like 16.
That's the one where he was like telling the crowd to go louder, right?
That certainly was, and it didn't work out in our favor. But that was such a fun, like, we were game of the day, just cool, but like, it still wouldn't be the end of the world had UCLA dropped that game, and it was, the team ended up being shitty in general. But I don't think that there was more wasn't riding on that game than there is against Utah. And I've been following. This is my 20th season following UCLA football. Pat me on the back. I've made it 20 years. No, there hasn't been a season opener like this. I mean, sorry, Kyle, you were next. Are you in the same boat?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's going to learn a lot. I think that, like, this isn't like one of those cupcake games where you learn nothing and you can just use it as like a.
We learned a lot against Hawaii last year.
I mean, actually, we did. Yeah,
we learned things. We learned things we weren't ready to learn against Hawaii.
But like, when you roll over teams like that, you don't know anything as a fan. I mean, I'm sure coaches learn some things, but when you struggle against a team, 100%. But yeah, Utah coming to the Rose Bowl, like, I think that you're going to know everything you need to know Sunday morning, where at least the trajectory will be the next few weeks. Because after this, we sort of do have a little bit of a tune-up, if you want to call it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that was what we kind of made the main talking point of that episode we did a couple months ago during the offseason, is that, like, I call this like the linchpin game, like kind of like the gatekeeper game to, if not a good season, like an awesome start to the season at least, which, fucking dude, I will take that 10 times out of 10 at this point. Because, like, you pass that Utah test, you're then in basically like the driver's seat. You're controlling your own destiny at that point towards that 4-0 start, because you look at the next 3 games, and that's leading up to that Penn State game first weekend in October, which is why this is important, because that could be a 4-0 UCLA team, possibly ranked. I mean, would they be ranked? Maybe. Utah's going to be a good team.
They received votes in the preseason.
Yeah. So,
UNLV received votes in the preseason.
Who stinks. They stink. I'll talk about them in a second. Holy cow, we better kill them. But, yeah, that could be potentially a 4-0 UCLA team at home, first weekend of October, against Penn State, who, you know what's hilarious? They play Oregon the next week. I mean, the previous week before they play us. Could you imagine if we're
hangover game?
No, yeah. Could you imagine if we're 4-0 and they have one loss?
Game day at in Westwood,
dude.
You think?
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think that's a candidate for game day if UCLA wins all 4. Penn State still, even if they lose to Oregon, they're probably number 7, number 6.
Yeah, they'll be top 10.
But I mean, let's look at those next 3 games after Utah, man. You just mentioned UNLV. Did you guys watch them play Idaho State?
Mm-mm.
No, I didn't watch this last time.
Have you guys ever been to Idaho State?
I've been to Idaho. It's a great state.
Really? You've been to that campus?
Idaho State is right next to Washington State, I believe.
It's in Pocatello.
No, that's Idaho, Keon.
Oh, never mind then.
There you go. You have not been to Idaho State. I have. I've seen what that place looks like. If you are a football team that struggles to beat a football team that plays in that environment, you've got some serious infrastructural problems that are just, it's rotting from within. I mean, once I found out that they, going into fall camp, had an ongoing quarterback battle involving Alex Orgy. Remember him?
Yeah.
Orgy in the end zone from Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. He's horrendous. He's like a tight end. He's a middle linebacker playing quarterback.
He can't throw the ball.
He had one drive. He got the nod to start the game against Idaho State. He had one drive, and he fumbled it out the back of the end zone for a touchback. We've never heard from him since.
God.
And the fact that, I was just seeing so many preseason predictions having that as a loss for UCLA. I mean, I'm really kind of shooting my mouth off here. I sure hope we beat them because I think they're going to be terrible. I think that's absolutely a game UCLA should beat or should win. They get a lot of credit because, Dan Mullen's their head coach, which is, that's cool. He's a good coach, but I just don't think he has the quarterback situation is just too bad.
Yeah.
And then you go New Mexico, who's going to be dreadful. That's a Friday night game. You lose that, and then you scrap the program. And then the next week you play in a high school stadium against Northwestern, who's also stinky boo-boo alert. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, man, you beat Utah, you beat the gatekeeper. You should, take care of business. You're 4-0 first weekend of October. Ranked matchup possibly. College game day at the Rose Bowl. It doesn't get any better than that, baby. Come on.
I want to take it a step further, Ross. I think our season is the first 7 games. Because even if you look after that Penn State game, we have Michigan State, who's a question mark. Aiden Childs, quarterback, we don't really know much about. And then you have Justin Martin coming back to the Rose Bowl with Maryland.
Is Martin going to start that game?
I don't know if they've announced the starter for Maryland right now, but I know he's
a long ways out, too.
That'd be really – I kind of hope that he does get that job because that'd be fun to watch.
Yeah, but my point is, going into Indiana in October, what is that, October 25th? That could be and this, I'm getting way ahead of myself. But, we could be at –
We might be 10-0.
We might – no, but – but going into Indiana, and who knows how Indiana is without a certain Tino Sinceri, who we've taken away. But we could be in a one-loss situation going into that because Michigan State and Maryland are also question marks. So it's really a matter of getting through, the second week of October if we can.
So you're saying, assuming we lose that Penn State game,
yes,
you then have 2 beatable teams in Michigan State and Maryland. So you are predicting right now on the record. This is your words. You're dying on this hill. UCLA starting 6-1.
Yeah, sure. If UCLA starts 6-1, I gotta give something now. I'll give. We'll do some ticket giveaways for that. What's the next home game?
Nebraska.
That's got to be Donahue Pavilion tickets if we start 6-1.
Nebraska.
Sure. We'll do. If we're starting 6-1 against, and then we're going into Indiana, I'll give away two Donahue Pavilion tickets. On the record.
That's on the record. And dude, I'll pay. I would if you said
we'll be cursed if we don't.
We'll all go to the Donahue Pavilion, and then we'll have two SBS followers come with us.
Sure.
Well, here's the thing. If you asked me how much would you pay for a 6-1 start this season for UCLA football, I'd probably say $4,000.
Yeah.
So whatever we can get with that money, fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Then after that, the season kind of gets into the real nitty-gritty of it. But just up until that Indiana game, I think there is a legitimate scenario where we could be a one-loss team.
Well, okay, looking at the matchup itself against Utah, I think UCLA is almost too difficult to get a sense of to really make a real prediction on this game. The defense is a total unknown. I think the only thing that we know about the defense is that we're not going to rush the passer for shit. We didn't do anything to fix that problem, and we're not going to be able to pull down Femi, to come off the edge. Like, I don't know what Aikika can really work with. In his defense, we had this same scenario going into last year where we're like, dude, we're not going to have any edge rushers because Latu left, the Murphys left, Carl Jones left, and we had no way to get to the quarterback, and we found a way. The defense got better as the season went on. So I don't think that's going to be in place when we play Utah. I think that's going to be, we're going to have a tough time containing. I think Utah's got two of the best offensive tackles in college football. Mm-hmm. Who do we have coming off the edge? Devin Apu or Jacob Busick? Is he still on the roster? This is not an insider podcast, by the way. This is fan run, so we're learning on the spot. My point is, I think that the matchup for our defense versus their offense isn't ideal. Devin Dampier, former New Mexico guy, he's basically a running back playing quarterback. Not a very good thrower. Absolute elite. Is it, how do you say elusiveness?
Elusive, yeah.
But is it elusiveness?
Yeah. That's good.
Elite elusiveness. The guy can run. They got good running backs, and they're always going to have a good offensive line, and we know they do. They have two elite offensive tackles. So my point being, this game's going to be hard as fuck. And if UCLA wins this game, it's not only exciting just about like the momentum that we're going to have coming off the game. I think it just means UCLA might be pretty freaking good if they find a way to beat Utah. Because last year's Utah season,
they were bad.
But that's such fool's gold though. Like with the injury situation they had, you can't look at last year and be like, well, we might have Utah kind of on the the downfall of the Kyle Whittingham era. No way, dude.
No, they'll be a scrappy test, but I mean, in my opinion, especially in college football, more so than the NFL, your win-loss and your hopes really hinge on the guy under center. And I don't believe in Devin Dampier, the Utah quarterback, whatsoever. He had 5 starts last year.
He could be overrated.
He had one over 200-yard passing game, and that was against a loss against Colorado State. He went 2-3 last year.
I think I just watched his highlights on YouTube. I'm like, damn, that guy's fucking shifty, dude.
Yeah, he is elusive, but he's not a good passer of the ball. So if we're not rushing the quarterback anyway, and you're keeping him somewhat in the pocket, and you're forcing him into that air raid sort of offense, I don't know. Maybe there's something to be said there about our secondary, which we kind of beefed up a little bit in the offseason.
Are we going to do score predictions? What are we thinking?
I think it's going to be a barn burner.
Yeah. Kyle.
I was getting bored, man. No. I think it's going to be a barn burner. I think we're going to be in a lot of high-scoring games this year. I'd be taking a lot of overs on UCLA football this year if I was a betting man. So, Keon, take that word. But I will go 38-34 UCLA.
Okay. Keon, what's your score prediction?
I'm super bullish on the Bruins. I am ready to get hurt emotionally by these 2025 young Bruins. I'm going 35-21. UCLA beats their Utes by 2 touchdowns. Absolute masterclass from Nico Iamaleava and Quasi Gilmer, and we even get the rushing game going as opposed to last season. We give the national media something to talk about. Give me the points. Give me the over.
Okay. Wow. I hate that I'm going last because no sunshine pumping on the SBS podcast. I think UCLA is going to score a lot of points, but I think that this defense has a lot to figure out. I think Aikika Malloy is a good defensive coordinator, but I just don't think he's going to have this dialed in enough to contain what Utah's going to bring. So I think we score 35 points. I think Utah creeps up on the 50 mark, and we're going to lose. We're going to lose this one 48-35. I think it's a high-scoring affair. It's kind of close. We're within spitting distance the whole game, but we just don't have it dialed in. We can't contain the quarterback. We can't contain the run. They can pass well enough. We'll see.
Always the cautious one, Ross.
I've seen too much. I'm sorry. I'm never going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that leaves us only with the one and only. What's it called? Gettin
Parlayed.
Gettin Parlayed, baby.
The one and only, what's it called?
All right, so I think we got Keon at the top of the list. Keon.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, it's been a while. Let's reintroduce Gettin Parlayed.
How many did we win last year?
One.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but if you actually would have bet the same unit size on every bet, we would have, I think, been close to even. Because like our parlays are like plus 800.
Yeah.
So based off that one,
okay,
you would have made up for a lot of the losses.
Okay, sweet.
So you would have at worst probably maybe been down one unit.
Keon, I trust you more than myself to introduce the premise of the Gettin Parlayed segment. So take it away. What are we doing here?
So each of us go through the game week in college football and NFL once that starts, and we kind of pick some intriguing bets that we think are going to hit. And then we put them all into a three-leg parlay, and I take them, Kyle takes them sometimes, and I know the listeners take them a lot of the time as well. So and then we tail, and hopefully we hit.
By the way, if you're not following the Instagram and you're going to be a follower of this podcast, you got to follow the Instagram because that's where you're going to see some some follow-up, some results, things like this. These segments exist kind of parallel to the podcast and on Instagram. So make sure you're looking for updates on our Instagram story and on Twitter as well. On that note, Keon, get us started, brother.
Yeah.
What do we got?
We mentioned this game right at the offset. This is game of the week for sure, game of the month probably. Texas, Ohio State. You got number 1 Texas rolling into the Horseshoe in Columbus, taking on the national championship Buckeyes. Ohio State is favored by 2.5 points. I'm going to take the Longhorn Dogs to keep it within 2.5 and a field goal on the road. I think this is going to be a big year for Arch Manning in Texas. So give me the Longhorns at plus 2.5.
Hook 'em.
What a game. What a game. All right. I'm going to Sunshine Pump once again. And I'm just going to keep the vibes high rolling into Saturday. So I'm going to be taking the Bruins. I think 6.5 is a lot of points at home. I do personally think the energy is going to be high in the Rose Bowl. I think we do creep up on the 60K mark. And I think Nico runs it out there and shows the nation, why he was a top transfer. And maybe we get some national media attention from it. So, I mean, it's an 8 p.m. game. I think that part of it's sort of shitty because, not everyone's going to get to see it, East Coasters. But give me the Bruins 6.5 to, I would even take a money line, but, we'll just call it 6.5 for this segment.
I love it. Give me Clemson +4 versus LSU. I think that this is Brian Kelly's last year in Baton Rouge. I just see the writing on the wall. If last year's season opener against SC is any indication of his ability to get that team ready for a critical season opener. I mean, SC wasn't very good last year, and I think that that Clemson is going to be very good. Alternatively, so give me those points for Clemson. I think I would take the money line even. So Dabo's my guy. I like that he's stayed true to himself. I love that he believes in name, image, and likeness, and that of Jesus Christ. What did he say again? What was it? We do everything in his name, image, and likeness. Yeah. That shit got my piss hot. So, give me Clemson +4 versus LSU. And I think, unless I'm forgetting anything, that wraps up today's episode. Kyle, Keon, anything else that we're leaving out?
No, not that I can think of. If we hit the Gettin Parlayed, we're at plus 584 for the first slip of the year. Put $20, win 120.
And then with that plus 584, we do have some shirts that you could go ahead and purchase.
I was gonna say if you tail Gettin Parlayed this week, that should give you plenty of funds to get like what? How many shirts would that be? How many SBS member shirts would that get you?
That's 4.
Let's put.
You get
4
two
shirts.
member shirts, get 2 member shirts, get 2 throw-in Samoan shirts. Why not?
There you go. All right. SBS merch is live on sbsgameday.com. You can find the link in our bio on Instagram. And with that, after that shameless plug, that wraps up the first episode of Season 2 of the SBS Podcast. We're going to come back at you next week after UCLA hopefully takes care of business against the Utah Utes. And we'll recap it all right there. In the meantime, leave us your thoughts. Leave us your predictions after the game. Leave us your reactions. We're looking forward to seeing you in there. And as always, thanks again for listening. Go Bruins. We're happy to be back. See you next week.